Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of, to us, what is one of the most important events of the year. I woke up one morning, I found out that one of my best friends had a situation with his family that was very scary. And it's at that moment that you learn who people are. It's at that moment you learn who you are. And I have to tell you that I'm standing next to someone who's incredibly courageous, because I don't know that I would have had the presence or the mind to be as strong as he was. And certainly with Cindy by his side, she was incredibly strong in this period. So it's not from afar that you see these things all the time. Sometimes these things hit really close to home. And it's in those moments that you realize what really is important. And I stand before you thanking you so much that in a window of time where you can't see outside, you showed up here. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and certainly from the bottom of the Fegan's hearts. Thank you for being here and supporting something that goes directly to our hearts. And I just want to let you know that the doctors we have here will certainly impress upon you the need for what we're doing. So thank you very much. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves today. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to the third annual Drive the Dreamer Folk golf outing. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for spending the day with us in less than pristine conditions. I hope everybody had a great time out there in the cold, damp course. And now everyone's enjoying the cocktail reception, the food, and most importantly, the company. This day takes a lot of planning. I want to thank the two people who made this all possible, my wife, Cindy, and my partner, David. The amount of work they put in behind the scenes is incredible. This event wouldn't happen without them. And to all of our volunteers, thank you for showing up, pitching in, and doing with such kindness and energy. We appreciate you more than you know. To our sponsors, thank you for believing in what we're doing. Your generosity allows us to keep the mission going, and we're especially grateful to our gold and bronze sponsors, the Moser family brands, Skyway Capital Markets, Backstory Capital, LW Direct, NextPoint, Peachtree, Tri-State Capital, and Pure USI. A big thank you to all the businesses and individuals who contributed. You're part of what's making something meaningful. And of course, thank you to the White Plains High School Mariachi Band for bringing such fun and energy to the cocktail reception. We hold this outing in May every year for a reason. May is National Cancer Research Month, and there's a painful truth that fuels our purpose. Historically, just 4% of cancer research funds was allocated to children's cancer research. Just 4%. That number is devastating. And now with the proposed NIH funding cuts on the table, though thankfully paused for now, that 4% is at risk of growing even lower. Childhood cancer is not rare for the families living through it. It's real, it's exhausting, it's life-altering. It's not just a headline or a data point, it's their daily reality. A reality that forever divides life into before and after. My own family knows that. The truth is, pediatric cancer doesn't get the attention it desperately deserves. It's underfunded, it's overlooked, and yet it's a leading cause of disease-related childhood death amongst children and young adults in this country. That's why we do this. That's why we created the Navis Foundation. We're here to demand more, to raise awareness, to fight for better treatments, less toxic therapies, and most of all, hope. Because of your support, we're proud to donate the proceeds to this event to two extraordinary institutions, Memorial Sloan Kettering and Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Both are pushing boundaries, leading research, and caring for families in the most vulnerable moments. And tonight, we're honored to be joined with us by two remarkable doctors who are making a real difference. First, Dr. Michael Ortiz, a pediatric oncologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering and Alessia's doctor. His care, brilliance, and heart have meant everything to our family. Following him, Dr. Julie Monroe, medical oncologist who practices concierge oncology at Cancer Consulting Services and medical advisory board member of Pediatric Cancer Foundation for the past 8 years. So again, thank you. Thank you for showing up, for caring, and for standing with us. You're helping us build something that matters. And together, I truly believe we're moving the needle, not just in research or awareness, but in hope. Also, on a separate note, our second annual tennis outing will be held September 9th. More details on that to follow. So next, I'd like to ask Dr. Ortiz to come up and say a few words.
Our group is a group of oncologists, scientists, nurses, and many others who take care of children with rare pediatric solid tumors. I have a particular interest in taking care of children with Wilms tumors, which is the type of cancer that Alessia had. Wilms tumor is the most common kidney cancer that children get. There's about 500 cases a year in children. And although many patients present like Alessia, 3 years old with a belly mass, Alessia was actually very fortunate because she was identified by her pediatrician who's here pretty early on. And unfortunately, many children don't present like that. And so I see a lot of kids where the tumors spread far away or that they treated somewhere else and came back and they're coming to us for second opinions. And even for the kids who you can cure, usually with a combination of chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation, the survivors still have pretty significant long-term side effects. And there's no effective therapies for kids who you realize, no targeted therapies, there's no immunotherapy for Wilms tumors. And so there's this urgent need to develop new treatments for kids with Wilms tumors. And so that's why events like this are so important. The funds that now in the third year of supporting my research, as well as Pediatric Cancer Foundation, which in turn actually also supports a clinical trial that I'm moving forward. The work that we're doing at Sloan Kettering is really heavily focused on moving the needle for children with Wilms tumors. We have 2 trials for Wilms tumor patients, but in particular, there's a phase 2 trial that we're moving forward with funds from this event as well as funded by the PCF. That's really exciting. And in fact, without those funds, we wouldn't be able to make this a national study. It would just be at our own hospitals. We're very excited and appreciative for you guys being here and not only supporting my research and trying to find better therapies for children with Wilms tumors, but also supporting the PCF, which beyond the work that we're doing at Sloan Kettering supports many other investigators across the country, as well as at Memorial. So I really appreciate everyone being here. I think Paul highlighted that with the recent federal funding cuts, that it's actually even more incumbent on philanthropy to support research in pediatric oncology, because there's really even less than we were getting before. And so I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, because this is such an important, there's such a need for these kids. And you guys coming out and showing support is really impactful. So I thank you all for coming and supporting the Fegan, supporting our research, and supporting DCF. Thank you.
And now Dr. Julie Monroe will come up and say a few words.
I am a medical oncologist, but I treat adults. So why am I here today at this event that raises funds for pediatric cancer research? In my over 30 years of practicing medical oncology, I've seen some really amazing advances in our treatment of cancer. We're now able to use immunotherapy to stimulate a patient's own immune system to attack their cancer and put it into long-term remissions. I mean, really exciting stuff. Diseases that used to be a death sentence, patients are now living for many years in remission. We have also learned how to personalize our medical therapies. So we take someone's tumor and we study the specific mutations that are present within their tumor cells. And then we can tailor their treatments to specifically target their mutations that are driving their cancer to grow. And this has not only proven to make more effective therapies, but also much less toxic therapies. Now, all of these newer treatments have first been developed and studied in adults. And it takes time to get these newer treatments to children. Pediatric cancer is a rare disease. It's not as common as cancer in adults. So it's felt that the need for pediatric cancer treatments is less. But as we all heard here tonight, even just one child with cancer is one child too many. And for every one child who is affected by cancer, there's a whole family and a whole community that is affected by the illness. And as I'm sure you're all very well aware, funding for cancer research has been drastically cut within the past several months. Many clinical trials and labs are now struggling to continue their efforts to find effective therapies for pediatric cancers. Indeed, sitting on the medical advisory board for Pediatric Cancer Foundation, I've seen how the number of applications requesting funding for grants have blossomed over the past year. And this is why now more than ever, it's so important that we support events like this today to help the Navis Foundation and Pediatric Cancer Foundation pursue their mission to support groundbreaking research and clinical trials to help eradicate childhood cancer. So thank you again, everyone, for support this amazing organization.